Hey guys, it's Eric Conover from Nerdy Geek Talks for all your nerdy geeky needs here with episode 81 of Steel City Bots. Yay! I'm finally back after over a month. I can't believe it's been over a month. That's kind of nuts.
That's what you get for calling me Onion.
Sorry, Mikey.
Shut up, Onion.
No, he's not Onion. He's Mikey now.
For a month, I guess.
Yeah, so thank you, Michael, for filling in my absence for all of those weeks. But yeah, so I'm back. We have some stuff to talk about. But joining me tonight, we have, out of the not usual people, we have Mateo Potato. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty here, just sitting here messing with my Optimus.
He's doing pretty here.
I'm very pretty here.
He is very pretty there. But if you move him, he's not very pretty, so.
You have to look at me from the front.
Yeah. Don't look at his behind. He doesn't like that. All right, Jared. Jared, you're here. How are you, Jared?
I'm doing pretty good. Tired. Work sucks. Kids don't work.
Dude,
kidding.
I had to file taxes for 3 jobs. I have 3 jobs. Yeah.
Last year I had a total of like 6 jobs.
It's not a competition, okay?
But if it is, I would have won.
Or would you have lost?
That's the good thing.
You know, you're probably right.
Exactly. Anyways, Michael, you're here. How are you? How are you, Mikey?
I'm better. Than I was yesterday after work.
I'm glad you're not worse than you were after yesterday after work.
Yeah, because I'd probably be bedridden, unable to walk, if I was in worse pain.
But he found new toys, and that cured him. So,
I still know I'm gonna hurt when I go back to work Wednesday.
Aw, that's sad. Miguel, how are you doing, Miguel?
Doing all right.
That's good. That's better than not all right. Don't ever call Miguel Michael. Just putting that out there. Or Mike. Oh, wait, I guess we didn't say Michael. It was Mike. He didn't specify if he would be mad if you called him Michael. Though he probably would.
I was just piggybacking off of the fact that Soundjack had said, if you call him Mike, you're not my friend.
Yeah, so don't call him Mike. Chris.
Well, oh God, now I've ruined it. Now you've ruined it. Everyone's going to call me that.
Call him Magic Mike. Call him Magic Mike.
Oh, no. Okay, and that's Chris. That's enough of Chris.
Sorry, I put the mic a little too close to my mouth. Apologies.
Oh, no, I just meant your comment.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
No, okay. Well, now I know how to kick people, so...
Yeah, I didn't realize that Michael did not know how to kick people until this week, which is really funny because I've been doing that since, like, episode 1.
And me.
So...
Yeah.
Mostly in the before and after.
Funny.
I knew you did, but you didn't. I didn't know how.
It's occasionally important as a host, though. But anyways, yeah. So with that all out of the way,
Didn't ask me how I'm doing though.
I don't care how you're doing. I'm just kidding.
I'm doing fine.
How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. I'm not medicated, so if I fall asleep or start laughing like a crazy person, that's why.
I am medicated because I'm
more of a
insulin
crazy
dependent
person
now.
than usual.
I don't know about that.
Oh, trust me, honey. Trust me. I'm keeping it very under wraps right
I don't
now.
think there's such thing as more to you. It's just different.
Oh, sweetie.
It's just
Sweet summer
different.
child. I am so glad. I'm glad you're so blissfully ignorant. I don't like living with me when I'm like this. I don't. It sucks.
Yeah, but anyways,
That's depressing. Let's move on to
Michael,
fun stuff.
what is our history lesson of the week? And thank you for adding in the date. He contributed to it this week, although I suppose you've contributed to it for the past month, so I can't say that.
Yeah, right. The history lesson for today on the day we were recording this is March 18th, and on this day in 1979, actor Jared Duplass, aka the shorter frat guy in Revenge of the Fallen, is born. We checked.
It's a really,
I like that reference.
really obscure
I know there was nothing good for today, and then I saw that, and I was like, "That's fantastic."
I saw that, and I went to check TFWiki, and it was like, "Is there literally nothing else better?"
No, but it's so dumb that it's great.
Yeah, that's honestly the best thing.
We don't need something better.
I mean, on this day...
We checked. We don't need something better. We checked.
13 years ago, I got my first Transformer. That's probably a lie.
I was just going to say, you don't know that. Stop lying.
That's probably... It happened in early spring. It was early spring.
Anyways, let's talk about what we got this week. Miguel, how about you go first?
Okay. I was waiting on a package from Japan, and it came in today. Oh, not today. It came in Friday. I picked it up Friday. So I now own LGEX Waspinator. So that's the Thrilling 30 mold, but with the better Takara paint job. It's the second one, so it's not metallic. It's matte finish, but it has all the nice paint apps that they had thrown onto it for the Takara release. Inside that box was also Beast Wars Terrorsaur, the Takara version, the second run Takara version. So for people who might not know, when Takara originally did the Beast Wars figures back in the 90s, they did second runs of a lot of the show characters to do more show-accurate paint schemes, and Terrorsaur was one of those characters. So rather than have the orange plastic for most of his beast mode, it's a darker red. He's got a lot of like gunmetal parts, and his whole beak is painted yellow.
Neat.
I did not know that.
The way to tell when they're in package is if they have a green sticker. The ones with green stickers are the ones that are show accurate. The ones that are the second runs. It's easier to tell on some of them, like Terrorsaur, and I think Tigatron was re-released too. Some of them are almost like impossible to tell, like Scorponok. Scorponok is I think, if I remember right, he's just a more gray plastic than the more black leaning plastic that they used. Otherwise he's pretty much the same. And then the last thing I got, which was probably the most exciting thing, is I picked up, it's the Telemoka series. So when Beast Wars had its 10th anniversary here in the US, Takara also did a whole line of 10th anniversary figures that were even more show accurate in some cases. And they did Megatron again in a way more show-accurate color scheme, in my opinion, using the original head rather than the retooled head from the Toys R Us release. The guy who sold me this one, though, he threw in the Toys R Us release head, so I have both of them now.
Oh.
Plus the one from Toys R Us, because I got that years ago. Yeah, I inadvertently now have every version of this mold that was done as Megatron. If I wanted to go complete, I would just need to get T-Rex, and then I would have every version.
Wow. I feel like you should do it.
I mean, if I ever see T-Rex for $10, sure.
Is that the red one?
Yeah, that's the red one who, based off the bio, might be Grimlock.
Yeah.
I know where one is that I might be able to talk the person into selling.
I mean, I'd rather just stumble on one and be like, oh look, T-Rex, $5, sure.
Okay.
Rather than if I wanted to go out of my way, I could. So it's not really that much of a big deal. I'm looking at Waspinator right now, and I remembered two other things that I got. I got the Siege Wave 2 Voyagers.
How did you just forgot that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Plenty of people will be talking about them. No, and the only reason why I remember is because in front of Starscream is Waspinator. They actually look amazing together. That Starscream, I'm upset how much I like it.
That's how
silhouette.
That's how I
Just
hear
the
most
way
people
he
talk
looks,
about it.
just the way he looks visually, I look at him and I'm like, that's a perfect Starscream. Once you mess with it, that whole narrative falls apart. Like his chest. The chest plate, the way they designed it, it's friction peg, so it falls off. There's that whole thing of there might be a running change with pins, but like there's only one person who's found it so far.
And with how it's pinned, it would have to the section underneath that chest panel would have to be retooled so the pin could actually go all the way through, right?
I mean, I looked at the pictures the guy put up again, and it looks like it has two small pins running through each side. So at most, what it looks like is if the running change is real, the two armatures with the friction pegs, that probably will have to get remolded to be a hole that a pin goes through. Apparently, that's how Bumblebee worked. Like, does anyone have Studio Series Bumblebee with them?
Yep. Well, I've got the gold one.
Right,
it doesn't have
the section that everyone says on the original versions that it should have been pegged. Is it a friction nub or is it a hole where
it's
pin?
A friction nub.
So it's friction nubs, and then the one that I have actually has. Well, actually, where is mine?
Well, it's a friction nub, but there's a hole already drilled into because there's like these three thingies in here. Let me get a light on. Because there's the three things in the back here, but the middle one also has a hole in it, which would be about the right size for a pin.
Huh.
So.
Right. So on mine, so are the nubs on the yellow or the clear plastic?
On the clear plastic.
All right. So on mine, there's no nubs. There's just the pin. So who knows? It could be that they did retool it and do it for a later run, and maybe like only a very small portion of the ones that got out were the updated ones.
Wait,
who knows if
about pinned Studio Series?
No.
I'm talking about Starscream and using Bumblebee as evidence.
Okay, gotcha.
As like, they would retool the parts with nubs to have a hole, and they would just fire a pin through it, which they did on the Bumblebee.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that means, like, if anything, I would think later runs of Wave 2, and probably more likely Takara version will be your best bet of getting them with its pinned. Which is another thing I saw. Because remember with Punch Counter Punch, how there were people who were saying that the factory error wasn't an actual factory error, that people were making stuff up?
Yeah.
The Takara, someone checked the Takara one. The Takara one has the arm assemblies flipped, like the fix.
Okay.
So, judging by the Takara ones, it's like, well, that either that was right, or Hasbro's was right and Takara did it wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to play devil's advocate. Hello?
Hello, Miguel.
Oh my.
Hello, eBay. Hello? No, I don't want Star Wars,
eBay,
a Star
my
Wars
old
figure
friend.
display stand.
Are you sure,
I
though,
come
Miguel?
to shop with you again.
Anyway.
Hello, my name is Elder Price from Book of Mormon. But
Did you get anything else, Miguel?
Well, I got Soundwave, who is okay.
Really okay? I've heard much better than okay from everyone else.
I mean, he doesn't have a vehicle mode.
That's a lie. I literally took a picture for the Steel City Bots account during our hangout, and that Lego did a set with Han Solo.
Yeah, Lego set
mode.
probably works a lot better than this one does.
Yeah, because it comes with Han
I know
Solo
what you're
on
thinking.
Soundwave's alt mode.
His robot mode looks beautiful. Like it's like holding a tiny version of the masterpiece in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
The thing I'm most annoyed about is the fact that the way they assembled his head, it's two parts that are glued together. So the only way to take his head apart, if they were going to do like a third-party upgrade to give him red optics or the red visor or whatever, you'd have to take a knife and cut his head in half to like separate the glue.
Not that it's that much harder just to make a head.
But then you'd have to destroy the head that's on it in order to replace it.
Wait, it doesn't have a ball joint? It's not on a ball joint? You can't just pop
I
it
think
off?
it's... Let me go closer to it. I think it's a joint where like the only way to really get at it is to cut the head off.
Huh. That's not what I would have expected.
Yeah, no, it's Oh wait, is it a ball joint? Oh wait, maybe it is a ball joint. Let me see.
Miguel just making up problems, maybe.
Or I'm about to cause a problem by ripping his head off.
For science.
All right. If I'm judging this right, the ball joint is really up in his head. So if I were to try to yank it off, I would probably rip open the socket where his neck is.
Interesting.
So I don't want to do that. But yeah, otherwise he's fine. All of the red paint apps are kind of washed out by how dark the blue is. So that's the only thing I don't like. Like on the renders, it looks like, like he's got the red little bands on his guns and stuff. And in person, they're really dark.
How's
on
the
dark
battle
blue.
damage, though?
We'll see. I don't really mind the battle damage on the Siege figures. Like, once you get it in hand, it's like, oh, whatever, it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not as bothered by it as some people are. I don't have the Spy Patrol yet, so I can't like fully enjoy him. But no, he looks great, and like I'm happy that like 2 waves in, we have the 4 main Decepticons ready to go. Like, there's a good chance that by the end of War for Cybertron, we still won't have all of at least the original Autobots.
Oh, yeah, fair.
Yeah,
Give me Siege Gears or I riot.
I agree.
Meanwhile, for the
Well, here's the thing, though. Would they do the mini bots as deluxes or not?
No.
No.
Then they're not
See,
doing the bots.
That don't
See,
know.
I would like the mini bots as deluxes because I really liked the scale of that Classics Bumblebee and the iGear Brawn. So something like that size for the mini bots, I feel like would be acceptable.
Well, see, now since we're in this we're in this world now where scale is a thing. They would release them as deluxes. They would just be incredibly tiny.
Well, that's fair.
They'd be about scrap metal size, I think.
Or
They could
Barricades of
do.
it.
They could do like
Scrap metal slot?
two Legends size figures in like a Voyager package or something.
Or they could do a
Or
sweep
deluxe.
situation and have all the mini bots come with some sort of ridiculous accessory that turns into something.
Yeah.
Like
Because
Bumblebee gets a flight pack, Cliffjumper gets a bazooka.
yeah.
Gears
Cosmos
gets a bad mood.
Cosmos gets Blaster.
You know, this is something that they could do because people were talking about why aren't the Weaponizers Build-A-Figures, where they could release mini bots as deluxes with a part of a Weaponizer each.
WFC2 only all the new molds are mini bots, and then everything else is a redeco of something from the first series.
Oh no.
Oh, I will hurt someone if that's the case.
Yeah, but anyways,
Color-
moving on. Chris, what'd you get this week?
Well, let me open the show notes here. Hold on a second.
Here
we go. First of all, from Eric, I got the 3 Combiner Wars Seekers, who I have started repainting. So far, I've gotten Thundercracker repainted into Acid Storm, and I've repainted Skywarp into Hotlink. And I'm currently working on Starscream into Sunstorm. Sorry.
Oh, you got me so excited when you said Nova Storm.
No, sorry.
Nova Storm's awesome.
I agree, but I already got a purple one.
Nova Storm's pink.
Well, now you tell me. Now I already got Starscream partially yellow. Anyway.
Slipstream's purple.
So it's Hotlink. Anyway.
Nova Storm and Slipstream are both purple.
Well.
Although Slipstream has the teal.
Wait, did you say
Nova?
Did you say
teal?
Oh, I thought you were saying Nova Storm is purple. I was like, no, Nova Storm is totally pink in Cyberverse.
No, Nova Storm is purple.
In Cyberverse? No, she's not. She's pink. -ish.
That is a.
Okay, she has purple. Pink. I think she's pink. Well, it's still different. It's not like regular purple. It depends on the lighting. It really depends on the scene, because in the first episode she looks like she's pink with purple, but then in the darker picture she looks purple. I'll give you that. Like the winter episode, she looks like I say winter, the one where they go to like the Arctic where it's just female Transformers.
Yeah. Well, no, Thundercracker's there.
Oh yeah, but
so all the females.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's close enough.
I'll give it to you. That's a brighter purple, but that's a purple.
No, in the sun, if you go to the desert episode, she's pink. She's
yeah, I'm looking
pink.
at the desert one.
She's magenta.
Yeah, there we go. I can get behind that.
Okay, I'll agree with that.
But I also argue
Mateo,
that
stop making us compromise.
Well, I'll still say that she is still the purple one because there's the scene with Starscream, Thundercracker, and Nova Storm, and the Nova Storm's only there because Skywarp, it doesn't exist in the show yet.
Yeah, maybe. But we should continue talking just because it bothers Chris. Okay, fine, Chris, you could talk.
Yeah, right.
What else did you get?
I got Studio Series leader Jetfire and Megatron. And they are fun. I like.
Who do you like more?
As the character, Megatron.
Well, no, not as a character. We're talking about the toys.
If you let me finish.
Well, that has nothing to do with the toys.
It does to me. Zip it.
No, it doesn't.
How are you going to tell me what matters to me and what doesn't matter to me?
I'm not saying that it's not true. I'm saying it has nothing to do with the toys.
Anyway, I'm saying which one's the better interpretation of the character, in my opinion. And that would be, I think, Megatron. I like it.
What?
As for which one is a better toy, I have to say, probably Jetfire. The transformation just, it's right. And it's also more movie accurate.
How is Megatron a better representation of the character than Jetfire?
Because shut up.
No, back up your opinion. Come on. No.
I don't have to. This isn't a debate.
I'm actually going to back Chris up on this one. Jetfire in Revenge of the Fallen, his character is a very different character than the Jetfire that we like, and that's not always a good thing. Because, personally, I don't like my Jetfire farting parachutes, but...
Wait, what? This isn't... But we're not...
That wasn't what I was mentioning.
That's not what she's talking about. I'm saying she said that...
I thought we were talking about characters.
No, I mean the interpretation from, character on screen to on
toy.
Figure.
Yeah, she means it's a better interpretation of the character as a toy.
Oh, well then fuck me then.
Yes.
Uh-oh, Eric, you gotta bleep something out.
Yeah, how dare you break our one rule?
You see, I didn't say that. You did.
Oh, beep.
Yeah, there you go. If you could just edit yourself that way, that makes things easier. You can say beep as much as you want.
Bleep. Just use my bleep.
Beep.
But I do like how you can. I do like how you can initiate the transformation sort of the same way as he did in the movie, with the cockpit kind of, for lack of a better word, snaking up.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Too bad you don't have an Optimus Prime to combine him with.
Yet.
Yep.
Bitch.
Man.
Moving on. I got something. I got Siege Soundwave, who was missing his crotch pin, but that's okay because I was able to replace it with a clipped paperclip.
Okay, I want a picture of that.
Yeah, I just took a bit of a paperclip, straightened it out, stuck it in there, clipped the end. It's not perfect, but it worked. But it suffices.
Okay, again, I want to see a picture of this. I want to see paperclip crotch Soundwave.
Well, it's not like a paperclip. It's just like it just looks like a thin pin in his waist instead of an actual pin.
I still just want a picture of what it looks like.
Okay. I'll get that to you as soon as possible. Aside from that bit of QC, he's really great. I think this is probably one of my favorite Soundwave toys. Battle damage be damned. Darned. Dang it, Mateo! This is your fault. I don't normally.
You already swore before that, Chris. You can't blame him.
Yeah.
My bad.
No, he started it. He started me on it. Dag nabbit! This is his fault. Yeah. Anyway, I tried experimenting by putting the G1 size cassettes in, and they do not fit, unfortunately.
They are way too big, aren't they?
A smidge.
Soundwave can
I
only
was
handle
able
so
to
much,
almost
guys.
fit Buzzsaw in because Buzzsaw is missing a leg. G1 Buzzsaw. He's also missing a head and thrusters and
That'll
stickers.
do it.
But
anyways, what else?
Got rid of half the toy. That might almost fit in Soundwave.
To be fair, I got him missing a head and stickers.
Okay, but what else did you get? Because we got to get through this.
I got today. I went to Target and I was looking for Transformers. I was like, there's nothing new here. I thought about getting one of the Siege Voyagers to work on. But I was like, you know what? There's a project I've been meaning to work on. So I bought another Studio Series Voyager Megatron, who I have now repainted into Red Lantern Megatron. I did it this afternoon, and just, oh my god, he looks so beautiful.
I like the concept. He needs something to break up all the red.
I put black on.
Maybe if you
didn't put nearly enough on it. You need some to break up. Breaking up means put throughout it, not in like a spot.
I mean, I don't know where else I was going to put it, because I
like
mean, he's
biceps or stuff like that. Solid red isn't a color scheme.
Can I make a suggestion for that?
But I will say that the upper torso does look sick.
It
I
does.
don't know if you noticed. I put a different shade of red in his mouth to represent the fire blood. I got that idea from some of my buddies in the Club Caminus Discord server.
If I might make a suggestion,
Yeah.
using a black Gundam marker, if you can get your hands on one, and just go over some of the panel lining. Like the panel lining, that thing, especially like around where like the two reds separate from the mouth and the head, because I was looking at the picture earlier. That will like make the detail stand out a whole lot too.
Okay.
Just a suggestion.
I might do that. Yes. I think
Cool.
I have one actually somewhere.
Jared, what did you get?
Had to make sure I wasn't muted. I didn't get much. First up, I got Studio Series World War II B, and he's all right. Not the greatest. He has a lot of backpack and crap hanging off of him.
How's the QC on yours?
The top does not like to stay pegged in whenever he's in vehicle mode. Like where his hammer goes, like it does not stay tabbed at all whatsoever, no matter what.
There we go.
But other than that, the front end does kind of have a tendency to split open, and I did have to put some like paper towel in the ball joint at his legs so that his legs weren't super floppy. But he's okay. Again, not the greatest in the world, but not the worst. Now, other than that, the only other thing I got worth mentioning is Siege Wave 2.
Siege Wave. Siege Wave.
Yeah, Siege Wave.
That's my thing.
Which wave? Which Siege wave? Because there's two.
True that.
Yep. Yep. So yeah, Siege Soundwave, or how I got him, Siege Pancake Wave, because Amazon sucks.
Yeah.
Because I got this guy off Amazon for regular Voyager price. They shipped him in what might as well have been a manila folder.
Yeah.
And it looked and I opened up the packaging to see my Soundwave box completely smashed.
Good thing the toy was okay though, but yeah.
Yeah, if the toy was alright, or if the toy was damaged, I would have been on my way with pitchforks.
That's why I don't order from Amazon anymore, because I've seen so many
Yeah.
horror stories about their packaging now.
I've
Yeah,
never had
I'm-
problems, but
Never
I've
used-
just
I've
got
never used
I've
them
just been
again.
lucky. So, Mateo, what did you get this week? Well, not just this week, but not since the last time you've been on either, because we'd be talking for forever.
I was gonna say we'd be talking for ages. So I'm gonna start from like the worst thing I got to the best thing I got. And I'm only gonna mention a few things. So I got the Race Car Patrol Micromasters. I really like Flak. I really like Top Shot. That really set my expectations high for the Micromasters. And then I got
Wait,
the
those aren't the race car patrol. You said didn't you say?
no, yeah, I was getting to that. Like
Oh, okay.
they set my expectations high when I picked up Flak and Top Shot. And then I picked up the Race Car Patrol, and my expectations dropped back down. Those
the
are
Jets.
easily.
Get the Jets, you'll be happy again.
I plan
Seriously,
to.
the Jets are fantastic.
I totally plan to. Those cars are like terrible. I went to open. I think I told this in pre-show, but like I opened Swindler and started to pull him out of the packaging, and his wheel shot across, and it's somewhere. I don't know where it is anymore. So I have a 3-wheeled Swindler.
It's okay. You don't need to ever look at him again, anyways. So
Hey,
No.
if you want to send those to me, I can repaint them for you.
I'll send them. Yeah, I'll send them to you, and you can keep them. Like that's how. But they're peg warming here everywhere. So,
Same.
and then next up, I got Studio Series Barricade, who is not bad. He's definitely not a bad toy. He's just okay. This is the first version of the 2007 Barricade that I've actually owned. I never owned any of the originals, like the Human Alliance or anything like that, or the Masterpiece. His robot mode's fine. I kind of wish he did more with his weapon, but it just kind of pegs it loosely into his hand in a kind of weird port that you have to pinch his fingers together to close up. And his car mode doesn't hold together real well. It just wants to come undone, and if you look at it the wrong way, the roof kind of collapses in on itself.
just curious, what more do you want him to do with his weapon?
I don't know. I think it would be neat, like if it stored away somewhere,
Oh, okay,
or if it, at least plugged into his hand a bit better.
gotcha. Okay, I was just curious. I just didn't know what you meant by that.
Yeah. So that's Barricade. And then I got Studio Series Rampage, who is pretty good. He's pretty good. Does a real good job of being a pogo stick.
What was it you called him before the show?
Oh my goodness. I'm trying to remember.
Was it Pogo Weenus or something?
Yes, it was Pogo Venus. So, essentially, he comes with a little stand, which is really nice. It plugs right into the bottom of his pogo stick. And then every review I saw on him when they turned him into leg mode for Devastator was, his stand doesn't go anywhere. But if you just flip up the pogo stand, which is on the opposite side of the connector, you have enough room to plug the stand in. And it just... Granted, it kind of looks a little ugly back there, but it's kind of hard to notice. So I leave it like that. And his transformation is okay. Like, the vehicle mode still, for me, didn't want to tab together real well. But the robot mode's fine, but I'm never going to have him in either of those modes. He's forever going to stay a leg. So. And Devastator is going to have ankle tilt.
Man,
Nice.
that's sad. I'm gonna get 2 of all the Constructicons because I actually really like the Constructicons.
I'm gonna have to get 4 for free paints. My wallet is crying
I don't
already.
think you'll do it. I think you're going to back out of
Oh,
at
yeah.
least one of those sets.
I'm
I bet
probably
too.
gonna, but I'm at least gonna do the green ones by
I was
God.
gonna say if you're just gonna do 3, you know, because you mentioned you wanted to do the G1 originals and you wanted to have the movie originals and then just the repaints of whatever they were.
Yeah,
So
and then
But yeah.
maybe the Diaclone, and then maybe a black and purple.
That's
like,
fun.
can you imagine like Diaclone version of movie bots?
Do it.
Wow. Anyways,
But yeah, that's Rampage. He's forever afoot. Next up, these last two are really close to being second place, but I gotta put him in third, and that is Siege 6-Gun. I love him. I was super excited for 6-Gun when he came out, and when I saw him in the stores last night, I was super excited to pick him up. My goal for Siege is to get all of the weaponizers and then some certain characters, and then be done with the line, because I can't afford to really go like all in on it. So just picking and choosing the ones that I want is probably the best way to go. His vehicle mode is super cool. It kind of reminds me of the Green Goblin's glider. And the way he kind of armors up everybody, because everybody's been doing like the pictures with like the Hulk hand that he can do. That's real fun. I did that with Flywheels the other day. Or not the other day, I did that with him last night. But yeah, he's a 6-Gun, and he's real great, and I love him.
nice.
I can't wait to get my
Oh.
own Combiner son.
And he also has, you can also bend his toe too, which I think is the first time in a long time I've seen that on a deluxe.
Trying to- yeah, I think it is. Huh. Rook.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, Rook.
Rook you could do that
Rook's
with.
the last one I could think of, at least.
Well, Swindle and Hound came out after Rook, so
That-
Yeah.
Would that count? Because that's the same mold, or well,
well, it's a
nearly
retool.
It's a retool.
So-
Yeah.
retool.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And it's still
Yeah.
the latest release, so.
Yeah.
So, yeah, technically Hound. Which is funny, because new Hound with more articulation does not have that. But yeah. Anything else you get?
Yeah, I got 2 more. I'll try to make them
No,
brief.
he kind of does, Eric. He's got the toe thing. Kinda.
Not
Yeah.
not to the extent.
Not to that
it's 6
extent, but he does have it.
The Toad certainly moves because of transformation,
Yeah,
but that doesn't really work in robot mode
yeah.
all too good.
Still there.
But yeah, I really like him nonetheless. So, but I've got 2 more. Second place, being my second favorite pickup, is Studio Series Scrap Metal. I liked him so much that I made a whole review on him. And in that review, I just gush about how much I love Z Little One and like D-list characters who get this kind of treatment. Transformation is super duper fun. Hand mode looks good.
Wait, he's
I-
the little one that they rip apart?
I was about to say,
Yeah,
he's
he's the
he
little
is.
one.
little one.
I forgot about that. I forgot that he was actually that one.
I didn't even know because it's just like a blob. Honest to God, that's one of the few
Well,
blob of metal scenes
I thought it
for
was.
me.
I thought it was a different one.
I can't tell.
Well,
the
it's a scrapper body type, but then there was an interview but because he turns into an excavator, and then the fans coined the term, and then there was an interview with Hasbro, and they were like, "Huh, we like that name." So then it became
Oh,
scrap
so he's
metal.
literally called scrap metal because
He got torn apart for Megatron.
Yeah.
that's
funny.
awesome.
I love him, and he is my new favorite Gremlin. I love it. I love his big meaty claws too. That's
Who beat him for number 1? Now I'm curious because he's the one that I'm like most excited for. Where did you get that was number 1 then?
I got.
Read the list,
is-
Eric.
This is easily my favorite. Studio Series Bumblebee Optimus Prime.
That beats it? Huh, interesting.
It doesn't beat it by much. Scrap Metal was my number 1 until I picked him up with 6-Gun last night. This is the best. I'm gonna come out and say it. This is the best mainline Optimus Prime that we have. Granted, I have not messed with
Siege.
I don't have Siege yet.
Siege. I don't have that Prime yet. I'm going to get it. I'm very excited for it. Without a doubt, Siege is definitely better.
I think I'm a little biased too because the Bumblebee Cybertronian aesthetic really, really did it for me. Mm-hmm. And just to have a representation of that Optimus Prime with very little kibble, a really, really interesting transformation, he's right now my favorite bot that I've gotten this year. His legs are kind of the only issue that I have. His feet can be a little tricky when transforming them, but once you do it a couple times, it's fine. And the inside of his shins, or the inside of his legs, rather, don't always want to sit flush into place. You got to kind of mess with them for an extra second. But yeah, he barely has any kibble. He's real flat. And the only kibble I can think of that might be a nuisance to somebody are these panels on his arms. Yeah. But other than that, I've been messing with him all, since I've gotten him, and he's fantastic. Cool. I also just realized tonight that he has a waist joint, so that makes him even better.
Michael, what did you get?
Firstly, I got a package in from someone I bought some stuff from.
Jake.
Then that, yes, AHM Jake on Twitter.
Yep.
Thank you. I forgot the name. But from them, I got a Cybertron Megatron, not the leader class one, which I got from Mateo Potato, but the Jungle Planet one, which is a deluxe class size figure based on Beast Wars Megatron. And
that was a thing?
Yep.
Yes, it's right here. It's got a
cool.
planet key it's got a Cyber Planet key that plugs into its butt.
Oh my god, I need one now.
Oh jeez.
It's great. It's honestly really nice. It's not a perfect toy, but I have a lot of fun with it. The transformation is fun. You get some pretty good posability out of him. He's quite posable, especially for a Cybertron era figure, who tend to be a bit blocky. But he's really nice. I mean, the colors are a tad strange. But yeah, I really do enjoy it.
Talk about the next one.
Beast mode is, I will say, better than the robot mode, but I still love this toy. But the other one I got from him, which Eric knows what is, I picked up RID 15 Crash Combiner Shocknado because he had it. And he was selling it for cheap, and I was like, why not? Because I was definitely picking up the Cybertron Megatron, so I was like, why not? Let's grab him too. He's quite fun. The gimmick is both more and less involved than I expected, because
make up your mind.
Well, okay. And I say this because for the top one, who I think is Warnado.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, I think the top one's Warnado. He does a lot more than I was expecting when I got him. And then Shock Drive does absolutely nothing when you plug them in together, and I expected something. But they're nice. They have a little bit of articulation. Very, very little. Well, the combined robot is very, very little. The individual robots basically have no articulation. But there's still also at least 5 million.
They have outward arm articulation.
That's it. But there's at least 5 millimeter posts, so you can have them there. He's neat. I've been interested just because of the name, but this is fun. This is a little bit of fun. Yeah. It's good time. Good, fun little thing. And then next, I picked up. I saw this at my Target.
I'm so sorry.
Last, and it's Why Are You So Sorry?
Because it's a terrible toy.
It's not that bad.
It's great to have in there for representation, and like it scales okay with some of the other stuff, but it's bad.
Yeah. It's not nowhere near as bad as Shadow Striker.
That's
without
fair
question.
Point. That's a fair point.
But what we're talking about is Cyberverse Ultra Class Slipstream, who I think Eric does speak too harshly towards. The transformation is slightly more involved than I was expecting, which is a nice surprise. The gimmick's actually kind of fun because it tucks away so nicely, and it's also a spinning gimmick, which it's just fun. It does scale pretty nicely with Starscream. I'm not so much concerned. I put a photo to my Twitter and Instagram saying I thought they'd scaled better. And it's not so much about how bulky she is compared to Starscream. It's more so she's got a full head height taller. She's a full head height taller than him. But I mean, it still works. Still nice. I do think she is worth it, but not as worth it as Shockwave was, as the Ultra Shockwave.
How's her articulation?
She does have both an outward elbow and I would say a 360-degree rotation at the elbow, but not because the wings get in the way. She does have an elbow joint, nothing at the head, but she does have forward and a slightly backward knee, but hip. But there's a panel that gets in the way. No knees, unfortunately, and you do get a little. The feet do move, so you can do a little bit with them, but not too much. Again, decent, not fantastic. And I would never say this figure is fantastic, but it is decent. It is quite decent.
Because I need a Slipstream in my collection that's not the Scout class.
Wait for a Warrior. We'll get one.
Yeah, but then it'll just be a repaint of Starscream, and
I
Starscream's
think
kind of
Slipstream
trash.
will get her own mold.
But
I hope you're right, because Acid Storm
didn't get the wrong molds.
I know that they're doing the wrong mold for Thundercracker and Acid Storm, but they're not main characters on the show. Slipstream is.
I'd put Thundercracker up there with her, because Thundercracker was in almost every episode.
Yeah.
He's still not nearly as important as her. She was set up as the nemesis of Windblade.
That is
don't
true.
get me wrong. I think she's terrible in the show. She's the one character I'm terribly disappointed with because I think that they've just treated her awfully.
She's the
I love
Phasma.
the show, but no, because Phasma doesn't get humiliated nearly as often as her.
I think that's the point of her being in the show, though, so that she'll be humiliated so many times, and then she'll just try to take over Starscream's place because she's just so pissed off.
But I don't. What? No, she's just a joke. She's not no, she's just a joke. I understand that they're doing it on purpose, but I hate it. It's just she's literally a joke. I can't take her seriously whatsoever, which I hate. But unlike Nova Storm is who I wish Slipstream was, because Nova Storm had at least a cool moment fighting Windblade. But Slipstream doesn't even get that. But whatever. Michael, what else did you get? Because you got something else that's awesome.
Yeah, and then today, I picked up Studio Series Shatter and Scrap Metal. Mateo already spoke a bit about Scrap Metal, but I will echo his statements of goons are great, especially movie goons. He's quite fun. And this is a statement I still stick by. Most of the best movie toys are of characters that don't actually show up in the movies. And Scrap Metal is one of them, even though technically he showed up in the film, but it's not an accurate body because it's based on concept art, but they only steal details from it. Honestly, his transformation's quite blocky. for a movie character. But yeah, very good boy. He stays right here.
I wish they'd do some of like the B and C list characters that we got from like the 07 line or like the Hunt for the Decepticons line in the Studio Series.
If they make a new version of Landmine from the 07 movie, I will crap myself.
Give me a Stratosphere and give me who was the
Which one was the Osprey?
Is it Hoist or Tow Line?
I want
The
movie
tow truck.
Tow line, I think.
Long Arm was the original.
Oh yeah.
That one, yeah, Long Arm.
Movie 07 Dropkick.
Yeah.
Oh god,
Maybe-
the pickup truck.
I want the
I was gonna say,
Osprey.
I want Dropkick
Is-
just because it's a different Dropkick. It'll be
Ooh,
our
yeah,
third Dropkick.
right. Give us
Does
yeah,
that mean
Chris-
Dropkick now qualifies for the Basics episode?
Yes.
Oh
Uh,
snap! He kind of does.
Chris, you're talking about Incinerator. But yes, I completely agree.
My friend, he has Incinerator, and if it wasn't missing a leg, I would have bought it from him years ago.
I had Incinerator. I loved Incinerator. I need a new one. I
I
was
still
actually
have
looking at that on eBay for the other day.
How much is it going for?
I don't know. The first one I found was incomplete. So I think there are some complete ones, but I just forget how much they are.
As long as the body's there, I don't care about
But
weapons
how's Shatter?
Yes, how is Murder Wife?
Okay. So her alt mode I like.
Because that's the only part of her that's accurate.
Fair. The transformation does some. The legs are kind of neat. With how they transform. The backpack could be cleaner. But the biggest issue is the arms just will fall off, and also the sides of the front of the card also have a very strong tendency to fall off. I have not completed her transformation once without at least one of those parts falling off. And then the robot mode, the arms stay on well enough, and I can get some nice posing out of the arms. The legs, you're not really posing them because the backpack is just so bulky that it's already in the way of the legs. The legs literally cannot move backward. Can I even put? I can't even put the kibble to allow any strong degree of backwards rotation, which is really unfortunate. And then the head's inaccurate, but that's based on concept art mask that someone's claiming it was actually in the film, but we can double check on my birthday because that's when Bumblebee comes out. I'm sorry I keep mentioning that. I'm just excited for that. But like, I'm glad I have
not April 1st, in case you weren't
April
aware.
2nd. Yeah. In case you missed the my birthday episode last year and missed the reveal. Oh, hey, his birthday's actually April 2nd. Surprise!
I
Longest
feel like
April
this is
Fool's
still
joke
ending
anyone
in
has
a
said to
big
us.
old long con. I swear.
I
That
cannot
actually
lie.
is. I don't think so. I don't think he could lie that long. I'm surprised he
No.
lied as long as he did.
No, if you've talked to my friends from college, you'd know. I'm actually kind of surprised I managed to pull it off for as long as I
Yeah,
did
knowing
last year.
you, I'm surprised that you pulled it off.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
I'll still say I'm glad I have her. I do wish she was better. I'm very curious to see how, once Toy World eventually gets to it, because they've got a lot of things planned that haven't come out yet. Once they get to it, I'm very interested to see how well their version of Shatter is. Also, very minor thing. She's got the straight up headwards rotation because her ball jointed neck, but she does not have a jet mode. So she's got a head that would be very good for a flying robot, but she is not. She does not have an alt mode that flies in this body. Also, her guns are very interesting because I don't think they appear in the movie.
Yeah, I don't think they do either.
Yeah.
But
Mark,
okay.
so now for you, Eric.
Yeah,
What did you
okay.
get this week?
So actually, I got a ton of stuff, but the funny thing
Yeah.
is, even though I've been gone for over a month, only one of the things is from over a week ago, and that is Studio. No, not Studio Series. Select Transformers Generation Select G2 Combat Hero Megatron, or Zebratron as I affectionately refer to him, who I absolutely love. He's got a fantastic head sculpt. The colors work so much better in person than they ever did in the pictures or renders. He looked like garbage in the pictures and renders, and I was very hesitant to get him. But then getting him, seeing in-hand pictures, and then getting him in hand, he is absolutely worth it. He's fantastic. I love him. Also, just a quick shout out to HM Jake, because I did get some stuff from him. It wasn't Transformers, but I did get Black Series Battle Droids. I just want to mention them because they're robots and they give me so much nostalgia, and I love them so much. I got 2 of the Black Series Battle Droids. It took them forever to do them.
Roger.
Yeah, it took them forever to do them. I'm so happy they did. And then also Mace Windu, who is the best Black Series figures they've ever made. He has butterfly joints and neck and head articulation. It's nuts. He's the first to have butterfly joints in the Black Series line. He is definitely the definitive best Black Series figure so far. I also got Star Force Captain Marvel and Yonrog from the Captain Marvel movie from Zeus. So thank you for that. Which, if you haven't seen that, go see it. It's pretty awesome, mainly because Goose is the best Marvel Cinematic Universe character ever. Transformers wise though, I ordered Studio Series Sideswipe along with the Marvel Legends, the MCU 10th Anniversary Iron Man, just because that was $10. So I was like, yeah, I'll get that. So I got that like that. But Studio Series Sideswipe, man, he is probably the best Studio Series toy so far, I think. He's really good. He's probably number 1. Yeah, he beats out Jazz just barely. I would put him at number 1 and Jazz at number 2 so far. Then I came home to a ton of stuff that's been waiting there for months. I got Planet X's paddles, which I love. I am glad that it was on sale. My brother got it for me as a Christmas gift. And I'm glad that he didn't pay full price for it, because it's worth the sale price. It's not worth the full price, I don't think. I don't think it's as good as their other releases, because I really do like Planet X. And it's not bad whatsoever. It's really good, but it is probably on the weaker end of their releases. I also got, thanks to Miguel, Make Toys Cross Dimension Series Buster Stealthwing, which I have combined with my Striker Noir, which I am so happy about. I love it. It's fantastic. If you like Jetfire at all, I would consider getting the mold, whether you get that or the regular, the white and red Jetfire colors. It's a really great mold. I love the black version. It looks so cool, and the combining with Prime is pretty well done. The wings are iffy, but because of the way they attach, they're kind of, it's iffy, but everything else on the combined mode is fantastic. It's really good. Also got Movie Masterpiece Bumblebee, the first one. I've had the B-movie one for a while, but the first one, and I like it a lot. I am happy I got it very cheap. I also got Dream Factory's Movie Masterpiece Bone Crusher, which is fan-frickin-tastic. If you're on the fence of it for it at all, or collecting any Movie Masterpiece figures, it is a must-buy. The light-up eyes, he comes with batteries, actually. The light-up eyes are great. He has individually articulated fingers that are all so good. The transformation is complex, but I like it. And his size, he's just so freaking good. The accessories are all fantastic. He's all around one of my favorite Movie Masterpiece figures ever. He's fantastic. I can't recommend him enough.
How much is he running for now?
I got him on sale at TF Direct, which is, I have to wait forever for him to come. But so I got him extra cheap, but I am kind of curious what the actual price is. Let's see if I can find it. So on TF Direct he's $140. But I would honestly say he's worth that. Movie Masterpiece Optimus was like 100. This is bigger and has more to it and everything, and I love Movie Masterpiece Optimus Prime. I would say he's worth that price. I didn't pay that price for him, but I would, having him now, I would absolutely pay that price to have him. I don't know if that's how much he is everywhere or not, but I would guess he'd be around that.
I'll have to mull it over because I've been thinking about him recently, looking at prices and reviews and whatnot.
So I just checked TF Source where he's out of stock, but he was 120. I got him for, I think, like $70, which I was so happy to hop on that sale for. But yeah, definitely I recommend him. I would recommend him at 140, but if you can get him cheaper, definitely do. He's so freaking good. Let's see what else. Studio Series I found at the Target that Jared works at. I went there before he did, and I found Studio Series 32 Optimus Prime, which is Movie 1 Optimus, which is really well done. I liked the Revenge of the Fallen Optimus that came in Wave 1 Studio Series, but this is one is way better. The remolding makes it just excel. The brighter colors look fantastic. And then the combination with Jetfire, who I also got, Leader Class Jetfire, is just, man, it's so awesome to have that Optimus Prime Jetfire combo. It scratches an itch I've had for a long time. It makes me so happy. So yeah, I also got City Commander, thanks to Chris from XV from Radio Free Cybertron, and I like it way more than I should. Like, it's aged very much, and I still freaking love it. It's great. I think it's mainly because it's been in my subconscious that I've wanted it for almost the entire time. It was one of the first things I learned about whenever starting to get super into Transformers. So I think it might be one of those things, but man, I love it. I love it so much. Even though I got Siege Leader Class Ultra Magnus, who is also... He's perfect. Like, he's literally everything I ever wanted pretty much out of an Ultra Magnus toy. I don't know what to say other than that. He's literally, like, pretty much perfect. I also actually toyed around with, because his battle damage, I don't mind the battle damage on the Siege figures, but his battle damage is on the inside of his forearms, which is the weirdest spot. So I actually got some, I had some rubbing alcohol literally out. So I was just like, oh, you know what? I'll try it. I hadn't tried wiping off any of it. So I wiped off some of it, not a lot. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. So that's literally the only modification I've done. It didn't even bother me that much. I just wanted to see how hard it was to do, really. Since that was a weird spot, I was just like, I could try that and just to see how hard it is. And yeah, so I've done my fair share of cleaning, I guess. I also get a custom. I won this in a Twitter competition from @Grimlock. I think it's @Grimlock Prime Customs. It's Grimlock Prime Customs on Twitter. And I won a competition, and I got out of the RID Warrior Class Drift mold, which is actually one of my favorite molds ever. I love that mold. Age of Extinction Drift colors, and it's freaking pretty. I love it. I love it so much. It makes me happy.
I don't know what I thought the other day about, wait, what custom was it that he won from that contest?
Yep, that's what it was, and it's really well done. He did it. He didn't even do it because there is a blue version of that mold, which I have. He didn't even do it based off of that one. He did it based off of the black and orange, and it's very hard to tell. Like the regular Drift, it's so hard to tell because he did such a good job with the base coat, and then like all the metallic other colors that he put on for the actual Age of Extinction, which he based off the Age of Extinction toy, not the live action appearance, because then it would be mostly black. But I'm not complaining whatsoever because it's beautiful. I love the metallic stuff he used on it. It's so good. I love it. I could not be happier with that. So that was also a pleasant surprise. And then actually on my way back from spring break, I stopped. I was at the grocery store and stuff, and at Meijer's I found there was one deluxe class figure on the shelf, and that was the one deluxe class figure from Siege that I would have bought had I seen it, and it was Six Gun, who I love very much. He is so good, and he makes me very happy. And
Uh,
I'll be getting another one whenever on April 1st, literally in like 2 weeks, pretty much. Whenever my $10 each pre-orders come in for all of the Wave 4 Deluxes. So, Wave 2 Deluxes, which is Ironhide, another 6-gun, Chromia, and Prowl, which I'm pumped for. I'm literally just pumped to own a second 6-gun. He's that good. His alt mode, fantastic. His combinations with the other characters, he's so good. I do think he's a little bit. I think he's definitely better than Cog, though he has a little bit more battle damage because he has it on like his feet, like his toes, also the side of his legs, the outer side, and the inner side actually. He also has a little bit, because I thought I was going crazy, around the vents on his shoulder. None of it is bad whatsoever. He just has a little bit more. I thought it was worth noting. But man, he's so good. Only thing is, I wish he had wrist rotation. He could have easily had wrist rotation, and he doesn't. I kind of see why they didn't, because of the way the guns go into like his forearms, but like they could have if they wanted to, and I'm a little surprised they didn't, but you know, it works. So yeah, I'm very happy with him, and it makes me more excited to own a second one and the rest of the Wave 2 Siege figures. So I think, let me check my list. Yep, that's everything I got. So let's move into the news. The first...
At an hour and 6 minutes in.
Oh man. Well, I had a lot. In all fairness, everyone else took a while though too.
Yeah, we all
I only had 2 things.
Glad Zeus wasn't here this week.
Yeah, geez.
I'm sorry, Zeus, but like I bet you got a lot.
Yeah.
Already had so much this week.
But anyways.
Well, yeah, he went to TFCon, didn't he?
Yep, he did.
Yep.
TFCon LA, which we'll talk about later. But anyways, first thing we have just happened. Actually, they dropped it today, and it is a preview for Sector 7 Adventures comic, The Battle at Half Dome, which is actually the first bit of material we're getting that is post Bumblebee movie. Well, I mean, not counting the live action movies and all that. You know what I mean. But it's a comic that actually follows up. So he has the Camaro body, not the he has the Bumblebee movie Camaro body, not the 07 Camaro body. But he has the wings, which makes it work so much better, because in the movie the chest looked so freaking weird on him. Whenever he just had the completely rounded body without the wings and everything, he now has the door wings and the battle mask on, which makes the chest work a lot better with the design, in my opinion. But he's fighting Soundwave, and basically what's of note is we get to see Laserbeak and Rumble. Laserbeak is basically a fusion of the Dark of the Moon wings put onto G1 Laserbeak, kind of. Soundwave is straight up Bumblebee movie Soundwave. Ravage is Bumblebee movie Ravage, essentially. A little more detailed. And then Rumble is just...
Rumble's a friggin' weirdo.
I like it, but it's weird. He has like he has wings.
It's an adorable weirdness.
What the heck? What the heck does it look? It looks like he's got something off of his back. Oh no, that's him transforming from cassette mode, and that's okay. I thought the cassette, with how it's positioned with the stuff on his back, I thought that was like he's got like a bone crusher like apparatus, but it's just a huge or something.
Yeah, it's just his wing going over the cassette as he's transforming. But oh man, Soundwave literally, he's trying to get Bumblebee to join the Decepticons, saying that he's always been like a insubordinate and stuff like that. And I thought that was very interesting. And he calls him son.
He has a Darth Vader moment.
I know, yeah, he calls him son. So it is now canon that Bumblebee is the son of Soundwave. Is Bumblebee, is Soundwave an old man in this continuity? Like, what is it? I find that very weird. I don't know if I like that. And apparently at the end it looks like Hound is coming to the rescue. I'm assuming that's Hound.
I've been hearing...
Oh, Brawn.
The reason I'm
thinking
it's
Brawn. It's not Hound. It's Brawn.
Yeah, because of there's just that little bit of yellow under the...
And he's in the movie. That's the main thing. He's in the movie. That's why.
Yeah, Brawn is in the movie too. So
unlike Rumble and Laserbeak, which Laserbeam makes sense with the Rumble. That's just such a weird design, but I like it. I'm actually excited for this comic. I'm so confused by the characterization of Soundwave.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
But
I
this
love
is
it
a
'cause you can. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just commenting. This is a comic that is definitely under the impression that the Bumblebee movie is in fact is in canon, just like the prequel comic. Which
wait, did you
that
say wait, it's what?
This comic is under the impression that the Bumblebee movie is in canon with the rest of the movies. It sounds like,
I mean, it's just
Well, I
as
think-
much as the movie itself is.
yeah. Well,
they're gonna play it off still as much as they want that it's a prequel and that they just leave Earth, so it still could be.
Yeah, because like locate Megatron recover the Allspark. I mean that could be plot threads in the new if it is a reboot, because who knows?
Yeah, they could still keep doing. I mean, they would have to if it was a reboot because Megatron wasn't there, so they would have to find like they would have to do something. They wouldn't have to replicate it, but they have to do something similar. But yeah.
Or
I
at
feel-
least say like, oh, this is where Megatron was.
Yeah, but
I
basically,
feel sorry
this
for the
is-
guy who has to. Sorry.
No, it's all good. This is still
Um,
tying the This is, I think, this, if anything, is strengthening the tie between Bumblebee and the Bay continuity.
I was gonna
Slightly.
say, I feel sorry for the poor guy who has to tie all these threads together at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's John Barber. He tried so hard, and then
He succeeded with
that-
IDW. Now let's see see if he can succeed with the movie.
I mean, the
verse.
Well, he already did with the movie. I mean, like the movieverse has already been with IDW before, and then it disappeared because Michael Bay wanted it to, because it gave away Ironheart's death.
Yep. But yeah, but no matter how you splice it, the Bumblebee comic, the Bumblebee prequel comic
the
is not
prequel
with
comic
Bumblebee.
doesn't apply to anything. It's not in the Bayverse, really. I mean, I guess it kind of could be, but it's really no. It's not. It's not in the Bayverse, and it's not in the Bumblebee movie universe. The Bumblebee
It's just-
movie
Well,
prequel
it was
comic is its
definitely-
own thing.
Well, that was definitely intended to be written before they made the rewrites.
Correct.
to
No, I know it was going to be in the previous cut of the Bumblebee movie.
Yeah.
I'm saying with what we got, this comic
Oh,
at
yeah.
least fits into continuity. That comic doesn't fit into any continuity, so it's really its own thing.
That's fair. That is very fair. You're right, because of the encountering Blitzwing afterwards. If there wasn't that scene of showing like they're about to have their standoff at the end, that could have just been, oh, this was an adventure that happened in the
Well, he had his.
in the time between Bumblebee being in World War II and then the present day.
Mm. But
But
yeah,
then they-
well, he
that-
has voice. Is the thing. Bumblebee didn't have his voice. Bumblebee lost his voice in Cybertron kind of before, but now he didn't.
Well-
It's all confusing.
Oh yeah, that's right. It would have. Yeah, that would have.
That's what complicates it even more is that he was just talking like
Well,
crazy in the.
Yeah, because the IDW comics did establish that it was Megatron on Cybertron, but then
Yeah.
it would contradict
who
itself.
knows?
But if John Barber had the chance, I'm sure he would have explained it,
Yep.
like he has done a lot.
But yeah,
Anyway, off topic.
that comic is coming and it's cool, and I'm excited
Yeah.
for it. I'm so weirded out by Soundwave still. So the next thing we have to talk about is something I just want to address. I actually uploaded finally to my YouTube channel, Eric Crownover, on YouTube. Go check it out, where I talk about this more in depth, but I just want to address it. That there are multiple things floating around from interviews with Lorenzo Di Bonaventura that have been having to do with Bumblebee 2 and such. We'll talk about two of them I think I have in the show notes. The first one is the one that's titled everywhere, Bumblebee 2 to have a little more mayhem, which I understand why, because he used that word himself. Why everybody is using that clickbaity title, because he did use it. He did say that himself, so it is kind of fair game. My problem is everyone reading that headline and not reading what was said, and I don't like defending Lorenzo because we really shouldn't listen to what he says in general, and the man just needs to stop being interviewed. But in all fairness, what he's talking about isn't really anything Bay specific. He's just saying there's probably going to be a little more action in the follow-up movie in the sequel to Bumblebee movie with Bumblebee and Optimus Prime, which makes sense because they built up the character, they did all the work of the characterization. There's more room to have a little bit more action, especially now that there's Optimus Prime and stuff in the second one. It makes more sense. It'd be weird if it didn't. So whenever you see that headline, don't just get mad because you see the word Bay. Just read the article and read what he said, and it's really not that bad. Don't panic. Don't start crying about how you aren't going to see Bumblebee 2 because of this headline without reading the article. I'm not going to lie, I've literally seen someone do that.
Somebody made a comment earlier, like this was posted on Facebook, and somebody commented, well, I'm glad I didn't see the first one, and I'm like, that makes no sense.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, I mean, you can have your opinion, but, like, just read the article. If you want to be worried after you read the article, that's totally fine. I can understand some hesitation, but I'm saying that a lot of the hesitations people are having would go away. I'd say at least half of people would probably be less concerned if they just read the thing, and no one isn't. So that's a thing.
Well, I mean, I'd say most people would be not concerned if they were paying attention to all of the stuff that Lorenzo's been saying. And then,
yeah, I was going to say, there's basically 2 points. It's
honestly,
just, yeah, you shouldn't be concerned, and 2, it's Lorenzo, so doubly you shouldn't be concerned.
Yeah, from somebody
I
who's...
do not like the word Bayhem just because Bayhem has a connotation to it.
No, I know. That's what I totally agree with. That's why I think it's false. What he is talking about, he said, and it's his fault because he's the one who said Bayhem. What he's talking about isn't Bayhem. And I talk about that in my video. I talk about what Bayhem is and what he's talking about, and it's not the same thing. He's talking about action, which is a part of Bayhem, but it's not all of Bayhem. He's just talking about action, though. So.
Yeah, the only reason we should be concerned about Bayhem being back is if Michael Bay comes back.
Which, if he does, I mean, I understand why people would be concerned, but I think that they would still probably mandate some changes, but it would still be more Bay-y than obviously Bumblebee was. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But yeah. So, but I highly doubt that's going to happen this time. I think he's finally actually done for real for the, the 5th time. But I think it's for real the 5th time. 5th time's a charm, guys.
Let's just hope so.
So the next thing we have is another thing from Lorenzo, but honestly, this is a little more credible. What were you going to say?
Honestly, I'm surprised he didn't lead with this one.
That I didn't lead with this one?
Yeah, because the what it says here kind of goes into what he said there. Just saying.
Wait, what? I'm so confused by the schedule that's laid out.
Yeah.
What is so, like, I just want to talk about the fact of what the movies they are saying they have in development, because I will look at this for the current slate. But anyways, there is the Bumblebee movie, according to Lorenzo Di Bonaventura, is getting a sequel that is a buddy movie with Optimus Prime and Bumblebee, not a whatchamacallit. It is not going to be an Optimus Prime solo movie, yes. It's going to be a team-up with a buddy movie with Optimus Prime and Bumblebee, which I think makes more sense than an Optimus Prime solo movie. But the bigger thing from this is that the other script they have in development right now is that, and I quote, one is the latest in the main family series following the events of Transformers The Last Night, and the other is a sequel to Bumblebee. And if anything, that's the end of the quote. And if anything, I take this as confirmation. They're not, which I already knew. They aren't saying Bumblebee's a reboot. They've been avoiding the word reboot on purpose, even though everyone's running with the headlines, because they're saying it's a new storytelling universe. They're talking about the period of time and the characters they have. They're talking about all of that. If they wanted it to be a reboot, they'd be using the word reboot. And they aren't for that. So it isn't. This is basically confirming that. But the weird thing is, and I hesitate to believe this. I honestly don't. I think this is... Because this, out of all the things Lorenzo says, these are the only things I would kind of listen to, because this is more of a yes or no question. and it's his job to know the yes or the no. So that makes sense as to whether he would know. Is there a sequel to The Last Night having a script written? Yes. Is there an Optimus Prime and Bumblebee movie having a script written? Yes. Now, when he describes them is where things get weird, because apparently later on he says that Transformers 6 is a reboot, but I'm curious if it's a soft reboot is what he means, because that could make sense.
But let me read the quote that exists for the context, since I have it up.
Yeah, read that.
The main Transformers movie we are working on is a reboot, and I will say that the Bumblebee sequel will be more directly linked to the timeline that we set up.
So basically, he's saying Bumblebee movies in the Bay continuity, but Transformers 6 might not be. But literally in this quote, he says himself, one is the latest in the main series following the events of The Last Night. So my guess is what he means is it's a soft reboot. That's the only way to connect the statements. Otherwise, one of his statements was a lie. Either of those things are possible. He may have just lied one time or said the wrong thing on accident. Or both of those are true partially because it's like a soft reboot. Age of Extinction, in all fairness, is like a soft reboot. And then The Last Night kind of leaned into some of the previous trilogy characters more than Age of Extinction. But Age of Extinction was a soft reboot. It relied on events of the past movies. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it isn't in continuity, but it was a soft reboot. They basically got rid of everyone except Optimus Prime and Bumblebee. And then they went back and made Galvatron Megatron and added previous movie characters, both human and Transformer and stuff. I mean, there was Brains, there was also Megatron's head. Like, they didn't ignore the events. It was just a fresh start in continuity, which some people will call a soft reboot. So that could be what's happening. I don't know. I'm confused. All I know is I'm glad that it appears we could be getting Transformers 6, even if it's a soft reboot. There's evidence towards it, which previously there was none. I'm not saying it's a guarantee, but there's now evidence towards it, which I would not have guessed there would have been. That's kind of a surprise to me, but a pleasant one to me.
Here's the thing with this whole story. I've as somebody who's followed movie news and film updates and stuff like that ever since I was a freshman in high school up until now. Everything that he's said, prior movies that he's been involved with, a lot of it has been he'll say something, and then most of the time the studio will go back and have to backtrack what he said because he just said the wrong information. It's not that he lied; he just was misinformed or wasn't sure what he meant by that one specific thing.
Yes, which is totally why I am all for discounting most of what he says, but these are things that, it'd be hard for him to be wrong on the fact that they have 2 scripts in development. That's not something that you just get wrong. He wouldn't just imagine. It's not he can imagine that they're going to put a romantic plot line between 2 Transformers in the next movie. That doesn't mean they're going to do it. But is it a fact that they have 2 scripts in development? I would trust that from him. But that's one of the
I would too.
That's one of the very few things I would trust. All the other words he uses to describe it mean almost nothing. But just the fact that a Transformers 6-ish, it's got to be 6 because they're saying it's following The Last Night. Even if it's a reboot, it's probably 6.
I mean, they were calling Bumblebee Transformers 6 too for a little while before it was.
Yes, but that's complicated because of spin-off movies. It's the same, the Star Wars movies, they don't number, but it still is, you know what I mean? Episode 8 isn't actually the 8th movie anymore and stuff like. Well, I mean, the prequels messed that up too, but you know what I mean? Rogue One, that kind of stuff. Those are different numbered movies.
Oh yeah.
But that it was never intended to be a sequel. It was always a prequel. It was just the 6th Transformers movie. People get confused about that, the way they present it at the shareholders meetings and stuff, which I don't blame them. The way they presented it was dumb because they were saying it's the 6th Transformers movie and they were calling it as such. But yeah, I like this news. I'm very surprised by this news. I'm very cautious about this news, though. No matter what side of the fence you're on, I think you should be cautious.
Yes.
Because just because something's in development doesn't mean it's going to get made.
Yeah. That's the big thing.
But in all fairness, it
Get
being
made
in development at all
at
is more than I
best.
expected.
Yeah, because
That's the other thing too.
Sorry.
Sorry. Go ahead.
What was it that there before the last night came out? We learned that there were 14 more scripts for potential films in they had.
But that was while things were booming. Whereas this was after the crash, but this is after the crash, so this is more of a solid game plan. Nothing's gonna mess this up in terms of like we need to cancel all these things. You know what I mean? Like they had their small movie and it did well enough that they're considering more stuff. So there's no failure incoming that would cancel this. It would be more like they don't want to do. You know what I mean? It's not the same thing, but
like Paramount decided to cut it for budgetary or something.
But it's other things.
Complications.
Because not every script that gets written eventually gets made. So like you can have 2 or 3 Transformer scripts, but they have to be approved and they have to go through all these different steps in order to even be considered to get made. So it might be a matter of they might have 2 scripts in development, they might have 3 scripts, whatever. But it's a matter of if they get approved by executives and.
It's saying at the bottom of this article, which I think is total bull, that there is a Transformers Beast Wars movie in development. That's not in development.
There was concept art that came out a while ago that had some Beast Wars characters like Optimal.
That wasn't Optimal. That wasn't Optimal. That wasn't Optimus Primal. That was actually like a beast mode for Optimus Prime concept art in The Last Night. It was weird. That was what they were considering doing instead of Nemesis Prime, that when he turns evil, he turns into Optimus Primal, kind of.
Okay.
There was also that snake.
That too.
I don't think that's why they put it in there, because earlier this week, Lorenzo also talked about a potential Beast Wars movie.
He also talked about how that's never going to happen.
Well, he said it's very, very unlikely to happen, but I think that I have to double check the quote, but like he said, it's very much probably not going to happen, but we're still looking into it, I think is the thing.
Yeah, that doesn't count as in development. I don't like the way they put that.
Oh yeah, I agree with you that it shouldn't be considered in development, but it's not. I mean, granted,
it's an animated movie.
Yeah, what can you trust from Lorenzo? Though apparently in the article, Lorenzo also states that apparently that the budget for the movie would have to be $450 million, which, if the article is correct, is literally more than the budget for any other film that has ever been.
Here's the other thing too, kind of going back to that. He also said, "Oh, we can't do Optimus Prime because you can't do an Obi-Wan Solo movie." You could easily do an Optimus Prime. I mean, it depends on the tone that you do it in, and depends on the story that you do. But you could do one.
I disagree.
I mean,
I kind of disagree, but also say that Age of Extinction is an Optimus Prime movie because it's the only movie where Optimus Prime is more of the main character than Bumblebee. I'd say they're about equal in Dark of the Moon. Though you could make the argument there's a little bit more to Optimus Prime's arc, but in terms of screen time at least. But Age of Extinction was Optimus Prime's movie. I think, because he's the main character in it, I think he is even more than Cade. But that's my personal opinion. But then The Last Night made up for that by having him just be a cameo, basically.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think
it's like Megatron appearance since Revenge of the Fallen.
Yeah. I kind of agree with the fact that Optimus Prime movie is a bad idea. Mainly because they would do it with Bumblebee movie Optimus Prime, who seems like G1 Optimus Prime, and I don't want a movie about G1 Optimus Prime. I want a movie with G1 Optimus Prime in it. Totally. I'll take that. But a solo movie? No, and I also think an Obi-Wan movie is a bad idea. I'm aware that is something that a lot of people want. I don't think it's a good idea. And I would love it because I love Ewan McGregor, but still, I think it's a bad idea.
I agree with you that it might not be a good idea, but like I thought I read it in the article that he said it just can't happen.
Well, not from a production standpoint. He's saying it basically from a story standpoint. How I'm saying an Obi-Wan movie can't happen. As in, it shouldn't. He's saying can't when he should be saying shouldn't.
Exactly, yeah.
But I find it weird, this list, really quick, I want to point this out. we know about an animated Transformers movie on Cybertron that is supposedly still happening because we got more information about that. They don't even list that in here. And this schedule talks about animated movies, and it has My Little Pony listed as the movies in development without a release date, but it doesn't have. It has the Beast Wars movie, which shouldn't be there, but it doesn't have that Transformers Cybertron movie. So I don't like
It
that.
does.
I don't.
It does.
Maybe it's secretly just
Oh,
Beast
it
Machines.
does. Never mind. Totally missed that. I was wrong. Yep.
I was gonna
Wow.
say, maybe it's just secretly Beast Machines, and it's our Beast Wars movie on
Oh
Cybertron.
God.
Beast Machines.
But basically, and also, I would say that the movie schedule that's laid out of all their movies means nothing because they could totally move that all around. If they're going to make Transformers 6 and Bumblebee 2, they could easily push Micronauts to 2021 and make Bumblebee, like put that in 2020 if they started now, or stuff like that, or the movies that are in 2021. They could do whatever they want. Transformers is going to make more money than any of those. So this schedule means nothing because Transformers means everything to them over any of this stuff. Because all of this stuff is like child's play compared to a Transformers movie. Because some people are saying, like, where's it going to fit in? Are we going to have to wait till, like, 2024 to get a Transformers movie? Like, no. If they want to do a Transformers movie, once they figure out what they're going to do and how they want to move forward, they're going to do it because it matters more than any of the others.
Like, the only one that could even come close would be Dungeons and Dragons, but that's just because that has popularity, but
Really?
it's never had
I feel like Snake Eyes is more likely.
Okay, but G.I. Joe's
I
been
see what
dead
you're
for
saying.
years.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But they've had
It's still
movies, and
popular.
also I'm actually excited for that movie because I think that's the one chance of it working. I don't even like G.I. Joe that much. I think that is the smart way to go about it. But anyways, that's off
I
topic.
completely agree. I'm just saying.
I think that
not saying
I don't know.
the Snake Eyes movie is going to be like a horrible, like no one's going to care about. I'm just saying, out of the two, I think Dungeons and Dragons just a bit more. Micronauts is like, why?
Really? Because I see it. I don't know. They've done other movies based on games tend to go poorly.
That is
Well,
true.
well, also keep in mind too that
That the deluded movie producers are going to be like, oh, hey, this is popular. This is going to do well, like the Sonic movie.
Yeah.
also keep in mind too that Hasbro now owns Power Rangers, and they've talked about doing movies for that as well.
Oh, that's true.
Yes.
So who knows where that's gonna fit
I
in?
was going to say, I have no idea when that's going to happen. That's the other thing. Because that's not on the schedule. That's why I didn't talk about that. I'm well aware that they have that. I still think Transformers is still the biggest out of them. But
absolutely.
Power Rangers is probably the second most powerful, but it's not on the schedule yet. Next thing we have...
Let's actually move on.
Yeah, I was going to say, probably a good idea to move on. Next thing we have is Viz Media to partner with Hasbro for a Transformers visual history. This is also announced at TFCon that they're going to be having a new book full of art from Hasbro's archives, all that good stuff. I don't even know is there anything else to really talk about other than it's going to be $50 and has.
Yeah. There is just when Rich tweeted out, and that's the only reason why I saw this, that there is an Amazon pre-order. There is a pre-order for this on Amazon. It's a 408-page hardback book. It's going to be released November 12th, 2019, and it will be $50.
Gotcha. So sounds cool. I want it, but $50 is a lot. But I'll still probably get it.
Yeah.
Because I like Transformers art. Next thing we have is some sad news. It is Beast Wars writer Larry, is it D'Attilio? Is that how you say it?
Yeah, I would guess. D'Attilio.
He passed away at the age of 79. So he lived a while. So it's not like it's not a sudden thing. It's not a sudden thing, but it is, it's still very sad. And so we all owe him a lot, whether you like Beast Wars or not. It was a revival period, so we owe him a lot, whether you enjoy the work or not.
Not even that, but he was important for not only did he write good, he was the overall story editor, and he wrote several of the episodes. Probably the most notable one being the Spark, which introduced the concept that Transformers have sparks to the entirety of the franchise.
So pretty big. Also, if you want to check out Michael You had a nice post for him on the Steel City Bots social media with the having to do with the spark with Rhinox. I really liked that. It was really well done.
Yeah, thank you. I'm just glad I had the prop I had for that. I was concerned. I wanted to do it that way. Yeah, the little marble. Concerned because I was like, oh crap, I don't know if I have anything small and blue that's circular. I'm like, wait, I've got my collection of marbles there somewhere, and I found it, and there was one, and I was like, but anywho. Yeah. You might also just note he's also responsible for your episodes of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, and I think also She-Ra as well.
Oh, cool.
The real Ghostbusters, Babylon 5, and is also apparently wrote a campaign for the Call of Cthulhu tabletop game that is widely considered to be the best of the campaigns for Call of Cthulhu. So if you're in tabletop and you've played that campaign before, you be sure to thank him as well.
Yeah. But anyways, the next thing we have is weird, but cool. I really like it. I really want to know when these dang things are going to come out and how many are going to come out, because we were led to believe only one, but now more are being shown. It's confusing. But anyways, I'm talking about the MP10 and Shu collaboration and decos. Previously we had the what was it? Elephant Convoy? Is it Convoy? Yeah, Elephant Convoy, Duck Hunter Camo Convoy, which previously I think just said Duck Camo.
Yeah.
I could be wrong about that. I think it did. And then Biotech Convoy. But now we have two additional ones. And one is called Animal Convoy, which is a mix of tiger, leopard, and zebra all over him, which is interesting. He has leopard on the forearms, zebra on the lower legs, and tiger on his torso, basically.
I want to see that in alt mode.
Yeah, I agree. That's
I
gotta
want
look
to know what the
interesting.
heck.
It's gonna look like it just drove through like a friggin' Prada store.
And then the weird thing, though, is because that one has actual tiger stuff on it. The next one is called Tiger Camo Convoy, which is black and green and has the slightest bit of camo on like the stripe for the alt mode, so basically a little bit on his forearms, which I guess is like slightly more like striped than regular camo. So I guess they're saying it's like tiger stripes, but in camo color.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure I see it. The figure itself is beautiful. I would love to own something weird and exclusive like this, but I need to know how and when they're getting released and how many. Because this is something I'm actually kind of interested in.
How much would each of these go for?
Oh, well over $200 probably.
But it depends how much they're getting. Well, yeah, but like, how are they going to release it? I want to know how these are coming out, and also because they showed off the 3 that we mentioned previously, and they were saying like vote for them, and one's going to get made. But now we're seeing all 3 again and 2 more. So like.
And then the LeBron one too, so that's 6.
But the LeBron one's separate, I think, because that one's happening on its own. I think.
Yeah.
Could be wrong.
But it's still related to this company because it's still based on the shoe.
Yeah, no, but that one's like a definite as far as we. Yeah, that's like a definite thing, whereas these are more like kind of.
They won't think.
Which
but still,
one? Maybe
if
more
they
than
all
one, I don't
happen,
know.
but if they still all happen, that's at least $1,200 for 6
I don't want
variants.
all of them. I would only get one of them. But I mean, I would love to own all of them, but there's no way.
It's all
to
to get one, guys. Okay, deal.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, if I could only get one, I would probably get the Elephant Convoy after looking at some of these pictures.
Probably the one I'd pick too. I think it's the most unique. I think it's basically like 7-Eleven and 7-Eleven Masterpiece Optimus and Nemesis Prime combined into one, and I'm like, yeah, I need my 7-Eleven Nemesis Prime. So.
I really feel bad for those MP10 completionist collectors.
God. Well, I mean, they had it rough with the Bape, all the Bape Convoy stuff too before, so this isn't their first rodeo.
I forgot.
Yeah.
This mold must have more reruns than friggin' Classic Starscream at this point.
No, but
it's Classic Starscream. I've counted. There are 51 variants,
but
that are
wow
flat repaints or retools.
But the
Well,
next,
now we have to count this one.
the next
MP10.
collaboration
I'm
is
going to.
weirder.
I'm checking right now.
The next collaboration is even weirder than that. Because shoes, I understand that. It is Bumblebee basketballs. There are four different designs. 3 are black basketballs. 1 is yellow. The yellow one just says like Transformers Bumblebee and has Bumblebee's head with race flags behind it. And then the black ones have the Bumblebee logo, like the actual Bumblebee with the stinger and stuff, just in basically gold or like a light gold. And then one is black with some symbol that's like a combination of gears and a wrench and Bumblebee wings, and then saying Bumblebee movie on it. They look like high quality basketballs. I'm kind of curious how much they are. I don't really want one that, but they're priced at $64 plus shipping. That's not awful because they look really. I mean, they are fine leather and stuff, but wait, it says there's 2 models available, but they totally
sounds
show
like-
off. There's more than that. That confuses me. It says there's 2 models available, but one of the pictures shows 4.
Sounds like it's too much for a basketball, personally.
I mean, high quality basketballs are expensive. That's what I'm
What?
saying. Like, I understand not wanting to spend that much, but it is pretty.
So okay. So I'm looking up all the Optimus Primes.
Mm-hmm.
There's apparently 2 versions of the Atmos Tiger Camo. There's a Tiger Camo black and a Tiger Camo yellow.
Wow.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7.
Huh. But anyways, that's about it for that. And then I actually forgot to put this on the news, but TFCon happened because Zeus was supposed to be here. I don't know where he is. But he went to TFCon LA, and the big thing we have to talk about is the announcement that there is some third-party stuff we might do. We might try to get something with Zeus specifically. I don't know if we really need anyone else to ask him much stuff. Just him talking about the convention, maybe, hopefully. And then just the main announcement is that the fact there's going to be a 3rd TFCon this year. It is TFCon on the East Coast. It'll be in DC, October 25th to the 27th. So, yeah, and one of the showrunners on Twitter actually confirmed the fact, which we believed already, but it was nice to see it in writing, that this does indeed carry over to the future. They plan on doing a East Coast, Canada, East Coast U.S., Canada and Toronto, and a West Coast in the U.S. show every year. So 3 TFCons a year from now on. So that's cool. I'm glad for all the West Coast fans that means that's probably returning, and the East Coast is still happening anyways. So DC this year. If you're going, tweet at us and let us know. I might attempt to go to. We're definitely going to Toronto. Michael, Miguel, and I for sure, because we've planned that out and such. But the whatchamacallit, the TFCon DC, I'm debating. It's going to be really hard to make happen, but there's so many people from RFC and such going, and Miguel's going, that I'm very much considering trying to make that happen, but make it a lighter trip. But still,
I'd love to try and go. I still have yet to go to a TFCon.
TFCon Chicago this year is my first one. I mean, I've gone to 1 BotCon, 1 HasCon, and 1 TFCon, so I'm about to finally double dip on a con, because Steel City Con doesn't count because that's a smaller local show. But I'm about to double dip on my first Transformers convention, because I haven't been to 2 of anything until my second TFCon this year in Toronto. And who knows, I might even hit my 3rd one this year. So, yeah. So if you're considering going, definitely let us know, because if we end up, or in Toronto, let us know if you're going to TFCon in general, because I would love to say hi to you guys. I had several people come up and say hi and stuff, and at TFCon Chicago, and so you guys are awesome. So, let us know, tweet at us, and let us know which you're going to, because it's a good time. So, yeah. Other than that, I think it's time for Jared to do his job. And Jared, are you ready for that job of doing the pretty pre-orders of the week?
Yep, and the pretty pre-orders for this week are Bestsellers and Planet X.
Yeah, Planet X basically just announced a bunch of reissues. By a bunch, I mean a couple. but I really like Planet X, and I just got paddles, so that's what made me think of it. It's Vulcan, both the regular and metallic version, which is their Grimlock, which is super good mold. And these are the two versions I don't need. I need the Hephaestus, I think is the name of it, which is the Fire Blast deco on it, which is amazing. And they did one, and I need them to reissue it because I want it.
Aren't they doing the Ironhide too?
That's coming out. Yeah, that. I don't think there's a pre-order for that, but they did show off new colored images of that at TFCon, and they're also doing a Ratchet and stuff. And also their Star Saber, but that's separate from the Fall of Cybertron, War for Cybertron. They're also reissuing their queerness, which is Slag, I think, and then Summonus, which I believe is Snarl. Yeah, that's Snarl. So if you need some Planet X Dinobots, they're getting reissues. Slag is $3 more than Snarl. Snarl's is $99.99 and Slag is $102.99, which is weird. They also have Neptune, which is the paddles that I got for $102.99, that's on a pre-order though. And that is whatchamacallit. That is the same thing I got for $40, though it does come with. Oh wait, no. Wait, or is it? I'm confused. Is that Neptune or is that the original version of? I think that might be the original version of the mold, which is it is. It's who's the I'm blanking on the name of the Dinobot. Sludge. It's Sludge. So that's Sludge, not Paddles, because he has the hammer and the gun. I was like, what? That's not what Paddles has. Also, their Death Source. I kind of want that, but it's expensive. I can't spend $170 on the Death Source, but their Death Source looks so good. So does their Star Saber. Oh, and also Planet X Callus, or Calus? I'm not sure how to say it. That is, whatchamacallit, that is a metallic version of their Swoop. Also, they have, and then as said, the Star Sabers on pre-order. And what's there's a Ismenios expansion pack? Oh, it's an expansion pack for their Death Source. To make it, give it a different head. I think it's to turn it from IDW into Master Force. Death Source, basically giving it all alternate parts, which looks nice. It's $40, which is a lot, but it seems like it comes with a lot. So, personally, if you don't have any Planet X stuff, I highly recommend the Ultra Magnus or Nemesis Prime from their Fall of Cybertron molds, the Charon or the Apollo. Those are the two things I have. Well, also paddles that I adore and cannot recommend enough. So, yeah. Oh, wait, no, they do have a pre-order for Hephaestus. It's $125. I'm pre-ordering that right now. Okay, cool.
Well, I pre-ordered that. I am back with results of how many MP10 uses of the MP10 mold there are.
Oh, no.
52.
I'm pre-ordering 2.
18.
I only want 1.
Damn it.
18. Huh.
Really? Just 18?
Yeah. 8 of them are Japanese versions, 4 of them are Hasbro versions, and then the other 6 are the shoe ones, the Atmos ones.
That's counting all the Bape convoy, the 7-Eleven convoy, the Nemesis convoy.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a lot less than I would expect.
Oh, wait. You know what? Wait, hold on. Is the Golden Lagoon one?
I would count that one because it's the same mold.
I mean, yeah,
Oh, wait, I did.
You
Hold
have
on.
to. I mean, you can't not count
It's
any
the same.
alternate deco of it.
Yeah.
No, I did count that one. I forgot that was actually on the list.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so there is only 18 versions of Masterpiece Optimus Prime MP10.
Man, it seems like there's
Including
been
the different
a lot
US
more.
including the 2 different US Hasbro releases. Even.
So the next thing we have is question of the week, which since Chris is gone, Michael, you get to do. And that is, what is Bayhem? And you're only allowed to answer with 2 words.
What?
Oh,
Why did you...
Well, I don't know why I said it, because it was your job to say it, but I said it, so... So the question, you only allowed to answer in 2 words.
Eric's rudeness.
Wait, what did you say? Eric's what?
Rudeness.
I didn't mean to do that. It was an accident.
I know. I'm kidding. I just found that was...
Jared, you go first. 2 words. What is Bayhem?
Big Bang.
That is Dang it! You did that was really good. Okay.
Might as well just end the show now.
Good night, everyone.
Matt, what's your answer?
I only need one word. It's explosions.
Okay, that's pretty close. Mine is dirty explosions. So, Michael, what are your 2 words?
Explosions everywhere.
Okay, Miguel.
I changed it up. I put explosions as the first word.
And not the second, yeah. Miguel,
Breaking
Hi.
trends.
what would you say is 2 words?
Hot beef.
Hot beef. That's also pretty good.
Yeah.
Mega death. I don't know. Yeah, I still like dirty
That's a
explosions.
character. I'm
So-
surprised Michael Bay never used that character.
And then to follow that up, this week's mascot is Bayhem Bisque. So it's fitting. I've no idea what that looks like. Please don't make that fan art, and please don't share it with me.
It's probably
Somebody's gonna make
a
it.
bisque in the middle of an explosion.
Please don't explode your bisque.
No, it's
That would make me sad. That'd make me just as sad as Dawn watching Kronos getting lit on fire. Please don't blow up a bisque. I'll cry.
no, it. Bayhem Bisque is Bisque doing the cool superhero walking away from an explosion without looking at it.
Okay, I
Like
like to
Bad
think
Boys
that.
Bisque.
No, because then he gets caught up in the middle of an explosion while he's walking away from it as well.
But yeah,
And
so
The pollution explodes.
yeah, jeez. But yeah, that's about it for this week's episode. So, if you enjoyed it, definitely make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, which you can do at basically anywhere you listen to podcasts: Podbean, Google Play, Stitcher, Apple Podcast, iTunes, Podcast Addict, and more. So I've been gone for over a month, and I still remember that. Look at me go! Also, and make sure to search Nerdy Geek Talk because that's our network. You can also follow us at Nerdy Geek Talk on Twitter. You'll get notified instantly when episodes go up. And also feel free to follow at Steel City Bots on both Twitter and Instagram. As mentioned, we have that nice tribute to... Oh, shoot, what's his name? It's blanking. It's Detilio, right?
Larry DiTillio,
Larry
yeah.
DiTillio, the Beast Wars writer that Michael put together, so that's very nice. So swing over there to check that out and other cool stuff. There's also plenty of coverage from TFCon from Zeus, who was posting on the Steel City Bots account for the first time. I didn't realize that he didn't have the login until I asked him to do it this weekend, and he got the login. So now they're supposed there. Chris has been posting some questions, that kind of stuff. So definitely swing over there and check that stuff out. Personally, you can find me at Eric Crowbar on Twitter and also at Amorous Prime on Instagram. Also, wherever you listen to this podcast, you can search the Brotatoes podcast, and find that. Soon, at least. I need to check up on that because it's on Podbean for sure, so you can find it on Podbean. But the Apple, it was being weird with the Apple request. I need to resubmit that. I don't know why it got all messed up. But basically, anywhere you listen, and then also at Brotato Bros on both Instagram and Twitter. You can also check us out at the Brotatoes on YouTube. Speaking of YouTube, you can also find me at Eric Crownover on... Oh my god! Oh my god, stop! What are you doing? That was so bad, dude. What was that?
What was what?
Matt, mute yourself. Jeez. That was awful. I have no idea what that was. Oh my god. But yeah, swing over to Eric Crownover on YouTube. I did a thing talking about the whole Bayhem stuff with Lorenzo and all that. And I'll be doing more movie news for Transformers. I think movie news is primarily what I'm going to cover over there because that's stuff that I can just talk about and it's easier for me to do. Whereas, talking about toys and like reviews, that kind of stuff, that a little more work I think has to go into that versus movies, which I can just talk about because that's probably my main area of expertise. So stay tuned for that. You can definitely subscribe because there'll definitely be more stuff coming up there. Because again, just easy conversation topics for me. Other than that, I think that's about it for me. So, Jared, where can people find you on the interwebs?
All right. First off, you can find me on Twitter at @redprime_. That's where I'm at basically all the time. So, yeah. Other than that, I am on Instagram at jarpro00. That's where I do my Nightbot. That's where I take a picture of one of my figures in the dark with a colored backlight and either say some stupid quote or make up some stupid story as I go.
I was just gonna say you've been starting to do a story with yours, and
Yeah.
I was gonna say be wary of doing that because once you start, there's pressure to keep going. If people
Yeah.
see that, because that's what happened with my despots,
Yeah.
and I kind of got burned out of that. But actually, I'm thinking about bringing back despots soon, so we'll see.
Yeah, my most recent Nightbot with my Siege Soundwave turned out way better than I was expecting.
Yeah, it looked cool. I liked that.
Yep.
Michael, where can people find you? Actually, no. First, let's do Matt. Mateo Potato. Where can people find you on the interwebs?
You can find me on Twitter at MateoPotato_. You can also find me on Instagram at Mateo Potato Reviews. Same name as my YouTube channel, where I post Transformer reviews and short films that I'm starting to work a little bit more on. I also just did an interview with Patriot Prime on the SitRep, so you can go watch that if you'd like. And I think that's about it.
Your microphone is so weird. It's temperamental. Like, you're okay-ish, and then, like, literally mid-sentence, it pops. Something changes. It's so weird. So, yeah, if you want to go find more of his weird microphone popping, go follow him in all those places.
Yeah, I gotta get...
No, it's so random that it does it at random. It's not just, like, consistently bad. It's, like, okay, and then randomly it's just like, no! Die! It's so weird. Okay, but anyways, Mikey, where can people find you on the interwebs?
You can find me on
At
Twitter.
Mikey. At Mikey on Twitter.
Nope.
Now I'm gonna search who at Mikey on Twitter is and gonna ask him to give you his handle.
No.
You can't refuse it. It's an offer
Too
you
bad.
can't refuse.
Too bad I can't refuse it, and I shall. But anyway, you can actually find me on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at SoundJack426. My YouTube channel features Transformers toy reviews, as well as my own podcast, Soundjack Rambles. This coming week is going to be Captain Marvel, which unfortunately Eric wasn't there for, because conflicts.
Yeah, scheduling conflicts.
Yeah. Well, I hoped he'd be there.
It's a good movie. It's worth it just for Goose, let alone anything else.
Fair.
I'm not even kidding. Literally, Goose is my favorite part of the movie. I wish I was kidding. That's not a diss on the movie. I love the movie. Goose is just amazing.
Yeah. My Instagram account features photos of my toys as well as updates on what I've gotten in the past week. So you can see what I purchased as well as hearing me talk about them.
Yeah, I want to do that for all of us. Like, have us post our hauls for the week, so that way people can actually see what we're talking about. I think that's a good idea.
Alright, I'm off to bed, guys.
Alright.
See him, Potato. I think he thought we were done recording. Anyways.
No. Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, I did.
No, not quite there yet. And my Twitter is where I hang out, so come on by and say hi. And Miguel just mentioned he's preoccupied, so go check him out at Logosminer on Twitter.
He has an Instagram, but I don't know if you'd want us to plug that. So
no, he doesn't want us to plug that. I asked him about it before, and he said no.
Okay, gotcha. And don't look for Miguel on Instagram. Although, we have to give what his weekly update is. Because on Twitter, what has he been tweeting about?
Yeah.
It's a Miguel tradition.
He hasn't, though.
He's tweeted about something, probably.
Yeah.
In the last week. Hold on. I'm stalling just so I can pull up his Twitter profile, which I now have pulled up, but it's loading. He retweeted some Studio Series stuff. Oh, he tweeted a picture of his Waspinator next to Pterosaur.
Yeah. And
Also, his
tweeted
Megatrons. His
about his
Megatrons. Yeah. Yeah, he tweeted about his toys, so go check that out.
Yep.
And I think that's about it for this episode.
Oh, and then
Was there more?
he also says to check out, he just sent in the group chat to check out the TFCon podcaster roundtable where he hijacked it via Zeus.
Was Zeus checking his phone during it? Like, I'm curious how he did that. I want to listen. I need to listen to it to figure it out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
don't tell us, Miguel. I want to know.
His smartwatch. You did it via his smartwatch. That's great. Okay, now I definitely need to listen to it. Also,
Yes.
I have a confession.
I haven't listened to the past month's worth of Steel City Bots yet. I did not listen to any of the episodes I was gone for. Not intentionally. I've just been very behind on all my podcasts, so sorry. But yeah, that's about it, and we'll catch you next week. See ya.
Bye-bye.
I ended the Skype call, not the recording. So if you're listening, goodbye.